guys, another SCPH replay here and now, and this time gonna be a PvT on World of Sleepers. Introducing our players first and foremost. On the bottom left, we are gonna get that red Protoss Rrricky. And have you ever met a guy named Rrricky before?
Rrricky, no. Paul, I think this is Polka.
Yeah, okay, fine. Steal my thunder. On his opponent, Mr. PandaUser, on the top right is Paul, or Polka Dots, Polka Dodge, whatever you want to call him. So yeah, Mr. Okay, fine. Since you know Paul that much, you're so friendly with him. What can you say about Paul then? Tell me his story, even though I know it already.
Yeah, one of the OGs, one of the stronger Terrans, one of the top Terrans. But right now, he's a bit stale, so
Yes.
I'm surprised he's actually playing right now. So I think he's trying to get back into the game like more frequently, practicing. It's just nice.
Dude, I remember when we did the prelims for Symbol, you were very, very excited for Paul to play. You're telling me how much of a god he was and that kind of thing. And it was very nice to see your enthusiasm for the player. And Mr. PandaUser playing favorites. Ugh.
Yeah, before. But I thought he was one of the people to get it. Unfortunately, couldn't cut it,
Too washed up, but,
He missed the slice of cheese.
It seems. Oh, yeah, I remember that. But it's like, he's trying to defend. But, sometimes you just can't get back in the game like that. And you can really see people who put in the work, especially currently, are the ones who are able to stand tall. But anyway, we are going to be on the World of Sleepers, and this is going to be a map that sure has some really interesting expansions. You can try to mine out that mineral field, but usually you just still stay on the same ground for your first 3 bases. Go onto the lower ground. If you want to play the aggressor, only one Vespene Geyser go. That used to be a rich one, but they did change it because the Zergs were always expanding there, exploiting the matchup, and pushing forward into their opponents when they were not able to really defend at by that point in time. But anyway, Paul, scouting alone with the Reaper, knows the opponent is a Protoss, making sure there are no proxies whatsoever. In the meantime, Rrricky, with how many R's in his name? 3 of them in the front. Going to be setting things up with a Gateway, a Cybernetics Core, and a Pylon into front. Natural will be the name of the game here for our Protoss player.
Yeah, pretty standard stuff. The Reaper trying to go for a scout. Unfortunate for him. I think it's going straight. Oh, dodges.
Nope, no, Reaper's like, nah, I'm not gonna stay here.
Nah,
it's not gonna be anytime soon, that's for sure. But yeah, Probe, gonna going for the mineral accounts as well. We'll try to just basically come on ahead. And Paul, in the meantime, unable to get through. Beautiful positioning here from Rrricky. Seems like the wrap here on the right-hand side will be denied. And this does force Paul to play the macro game in behind. 1-1-1 coming online. And the real question is, what kind of units will he go for? He is double pumping out Marines right here, right now. He doesn't have the bunker set on up as of yet, though. Not really expecting any kind of aggression in that form. Still, though, Hellions just being single pumped in this scenario. Very interesting here for Paul. Will this be a bio-based army?
From the looks of things, I think he's gonna mix it up, but can't really say at this point. But I think he will be doing some drop plays. We are seeing the Medivac and the Helions. It does get scouted, so I don't know how Rick is gonna react to this.
Yeah, Rrricky should be looking to be proactive into this one. Saw the starport in production. Doesn't necessarily need to see the Medivac going, but by this point in time, you're not expecting really Vikings. They're not the strongest units, especially against Protoss to begin with, unless they're playing Colossus. They're more for anti-air capabilities now instead of playing onto the ground. Like, it has been so long since I've seen Vikings really be used as a ground-based unit. It has always been anti-air in that sense, and even more so today. Not really the best, but it has its purposes. It has a job, and it does it pretty sufficiently.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, yeah,
so a Probe died and the Reaper died.
Yeah, so a one for one right
so
there.
1 for 1.
But the real story here in this map right now is this is gonna be Bull sending in this drop, and inside will be 3 Hellions. It's not gonna be any kind of infantry. Onto the corner we go. Does Rrricky spot that out? Seems like it's not gonna be the case so far. Oh, Bull playing it safe. And now here we go with the Hellions coming on in. In the meantime, those Stalkers are in position and can fend things off. Blink Stalker as well, exposing the tech. And that one Hellion gonna be able to get out of dodge. In the meantime, the other one gonna be dying a heroic Inferno. And it really just reminds me of those war stories where it's like, go on, leave me behind, and you just cry yourself to sleep trying to see that. Still, in the meantime though, Marines have been able to get into that natural, able to get a good smackdown onto the middle line. But the Stalker is able to mitigate basically all that damage. And here comes Rrricky bringing in the Thunder. But look at this, Paul is going to be bringing in something old school. You said it before, he was one of the oldest players, one of the best players back in the old days. And a taste of Wings of Liberty is coming our way. Banshee Cloak being researched, a Banshee gonna be brought online as well, and this is gonna be such a strong unit against those Stalkers.
Yeah, I mean, if there's no research or observers versus this, is gonna be devastating for the Protoss player.
Now, I know he built an observer, it is gonna be all around.
Yeah, just to blink up, you know.
Yeah, he's just able to get to that high ground, but will Rrricky be actually ready for the Banshee to begin with? One scan might be able to make a difference. Good blink up though, as you said, and a beautiful call there from Rrricky to go to that high ground. In the meantime, Banshee going for the cloak, but the Observer I don't think is in position though. Still sees it though. And here we go with the SCVs being pulled. Stalkers trying to get on away. A few of them die. But overall, not really the worst fight there for Rrricky. Paul in the meantime exposing his tech already, and information wins wars. That can be Rrricky looking to build on for the advantage.
Yeah, oh, unfortunately, lost mining time for Paul right there. He's moving, not moving with his SCV set. Oh, never mind, he's moving.
Yeah, the main base wasn't really doing much, and this does allow Rrricky to take the lead in that economy. On 3 base as well, looking pretty good so far. But the Banshee Cloak into that main mineral line, and we were talking about observers a while ago. Finally, though, we are gonna get the detection by this point in time. It seems like actually Rrricky was just not aware of that. The observer got in position, the Stalkers got the takedown, but still, that was a big hamper there, and then by our Blue Terra, the Banshee able to infiltrate, and a lot of gateways coming away. 5 gates is not, you know, it's not bad, because I can see that Rrricky is trying to keep up in terms of his economy. If he doesn't build this many gateways, he will be floating as soon as those 3 bases are saturated. The usual rate for Protoss, of course, is 4 production buildings per 1 Nexus point. It allows you to have a good flow of cash, at the same time use it accordingly. And yeah, Rrricky is trying to still stabilize, still trying to get the forces going, even though he did start strong with a number of Blink Stalkers at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, good harass by both of these, and Rrricky just reacting to the harasses phenomenally. So far, I think it's still evened out. I mean, both of them still have the same minerals. And I'm not a bit floating, but you know, both of them at the same supply. It's so ironic.
Basically,
from both of them.
Paul's able to keep up with those orbital commands as well as those Banshee hits, and yes, as you're saying, pretty even on the economy. And Rrricky, of course, staying ahead on the work count needs to be, because those mules always bringing the Terran at the forefront. But right here, right now, Paul is able to focus on a more bio-based army after the Banshees. This is going to be pretty effective against the Stalkers to begin with. In the meantime, Rrricky going for more and more Zealots. And the Banshees just so pesky. This doesn't allow Paul to, Rrricky rather, to actually group up with the Stalkers. He needs to have them in specific spots to try and defend. The problem here right now for Rrricky, doesn't have any form of anti-air besides that. No Stargate whatsoever, observers being forced to stay along. And right now, it is an opportunity here for Paul to come closer and closer, because this basically forces Rrricky to be on a more defensive edge. It doesn't allow him to tech on up. He's not able to get the Robo-Bay that he needs to face off against this Bio Ball. But an opportunity here and now for Rrricky. If he's able to actually get the slice and dice action with a mind sacrifice their life to get some good hits onto those Zealots. And Paul trying to go for a last stand approach. Has them in the back still ready for the evac point at any point in time. And it is going to be still damage being done. Marines going for the push with the Stimpaks. Marauders are in behind. And overall pretty even here and now. But Paul able to defend even better. Rrricky in the meantime still sending in more and more of these zealots. And will Paul disengage by this point in time? 14 HP on that medevac. It will fall. And that is the last of the Marines falling on down. But overall, still a good fight there from Paul. He's able to be cost effective with his units. He can produce a little quicker in behind.
Ricky's floating a bit. I don't think he lost too much. Just a cancel and then most units, but he still has the resources and the gateways to like make more units, and there it is being warped in by the warp prism.
Yeah, he's making those units right at this point in time. And no, Paul gonna lose a Banshee for free. Still though, Paul looking to get in position. Stimpak, Starter Step trying to get on away. Zealots already using their charge. Allows these infantry to get on away using the supply depot right now as a funnel. And that is gonna be Rrricky throwing his units into the furnace. Widowmine right now gets the connection yet again. And the Stalkers trying to provide fire support. But as I was saying before, the Marines and Marauders just so cost effective. Rrricky giving chase for so long. And it amounts to nothing. Paul with a beautiful defense by that point in time. Rrricky in the meantime still just not having that AoE that he needs. Zealots and Stalkers are not gonna be enough. Zealots are good with the engagement when you're having an even fight, when you're having a hold your ground fight. But when Paul is able to start to step on backward in his own territory, it's just way too easy for the infantry to stay alive.
Isn't there an immortal for Rrricky at the base? He never bothered to go out with it, or did the immortal just die? I think the immortal just died.
I think it died a while ago, but I know he had an immortal for a while. But as I was saying, yeah, because of the Banshees, this forces Rrricky to stay along with some of these units. Still though, he did get the snipe. But overall, it is going to be the same composition. And Zealot Stalker versus Marine Immortal is a pretty even fight, honestly. That's the thing about it. And that's what makes it really worse for Rrricky, because he's spending more and more minerals and gas for his units. In the meantime, Paul able to pretty much double in terms of that production. And the barracks, of course, can double pump 2 units if as the reactor tech lab gonna be quicker as well to get those infantry on out. Starter step action after the charge. And since there's no impact damage, that there is no burst there, and then Paul able to run around in circles. GG is called, and Paul would take the win. Not really surprised, honestly, because if Rrricky decides to do the same thing over and over again, he will lose. Like, he already proven twice. He felt that he couldn't tech on up by that point. 7 army to 64. Sure, he would have enough for a cycle, but he's not really doing anything besides the little stalkers. He needs some sentries, force fields to stop them from running away. High Templar Archon is huge units as well. Could have gone for the tech switch, especially as he said he was floating, but it feels like he forgot about all of that. 2 very questionable engagements, and Paul able to take the win by just running around in circles against his opponent. The Banshees keeping him still in the game in a sense, but it was really that bio transition that allowed Paul to take this W. Well done to both though, but in the end it was the Terran able to be more, it was just more cost effective. And that's a funny thing, the Marauder can just be the Stalker outright, basically. It's just
Rrricky just stuck to like 2 tier units, so
2 units basically. That's it. That's the show.
So weird. It's still weird.
And it doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore. That's the thing.
Yeah, it didn't work anymore.
Charge damage is gone, so you get that movement speed, sure, but as soon as the movement speed is gone, okay, bye, gonna run away. And yeah, Paul takes a well-deserved win here on Royal Sleepers. Not a bad game, honestly. We were able to discuss a few nuances of each race, and both sides playing a pretty decent macro. So yeah, no Clown Fiesta there. Thank you guys for that one, and I will see you guys in the next one.